Ladies and gentlemen, good morning and welcome to Coffee and Sports, the morning show, man. Where we do real takes, not too many hot takes. But I'm here with two of my favorite guys, man, Mo and Will. Mo, how was your weekend, big dog?
Interesting, fun sports weekend. What can I say? I couldn't wait till Monday come to talk to you guys about free agency and what's going on in the NBA.
Will, what's up, man? How was your weekend, man?
Good man, good man. Getting ready for this new S26 Ultra to come out. Got some training I gotta do on it tomorrow, so times are exciting.
Indeed, it is. Times are very exciting, especially for Ravens fans, man. And big trades happening here. You know what I'm saying? Biggest trade of the new year of 2026 for the football season. We got Max Crosby getting traded to the Ravens for 2 first-round picks, man, which now puts the Raiders up to 11 picks for the 2026 draft. Well, I'm gonna start with you, man. Give me a reaction to this big trade.
I feel sorry for Joe Burrow. Twice a year, DJ Watt. Twice a year, Miles Garrett. Now twice a year, Max Crosby. I feel sorry for Joe Burrow. I really, really do. Unless they can do something to fix the offensive line in Cincinnati, that man is in trouble.
They got time.
That man in trouble. That ain't no good, man. But I will say this: it's a lot of pressure on Max because you're looking to be. They look for him to be that guy, and if for some reason he's not that guy, giving up what they gave for him, he could put himself in a bad position.
Mo, chime in. Big trade. What's your reactions to it?
It means the Ravens are on the clock. When you make a move like this is an all-in move. You give up two number ones. And look, Max Crosby is one of the elite edge rushers in the game, but the Ravens already have a roster filled with number ones and top talented defenders, and yet their defense was sketchy at best last season. The Ravens have never lacked for talent. It just never flourished when it needed to in the biggest moments, especially in the postseason. What's going to be their excuse this year? You added a Max Crosby to a loaded defensive roster, and then you've got Lamar and Derrick Henry and Zay Flowers on offense. What's going to be the excuse? Like, they're on the clock. For the Ravens, to me, it's Super Bowl or another bust. My question is this, though. If the Ravens have a similar season to last year, and last year's season was enough to get John Harbaugh fired, the new coach getting fired?
I just think
he
the
got a shorter
Ravens.
lease than Harbaugh because Harbaugh been there for some years.
But that's my
I-
point. That's my
Right.
point. They said they got tired of Harbaugh here. Like, I guess he lost the locker room or whatever you want to call it. But when you bring in a new guy to that same roster with that same kind of talent, and then you add a Max Crosby, you're not allowed to not make the playoffs.
I just think that even with this move, and it's a great move, don't get me wrong, but it's only a piece to the puzzle. I thought that secondary like last season. They need some secondary help. You also need to work on that O-line and get you some receivers. I don't think the process is done yet in Baltimore. Is this a great start to fixing some issues? Yeah, but I don't think the whole process is done in Baltimore as of yet to get that defense back on track.
I don't know about getting receivers. That you what kind of receivers are you going to get? Because like Carmike's laughing, but he knows what I'm talking about. Your quarterback is who he is. Like, receivers don't go to the Ravens to have 1,400-yard seasons. Like, that's not what happens because Lamar is not that kind of quarterback. Like, Zay Flowers will always be around barely making 1,000 yards or not quite making 1,000 yards, but you're not, because of the kind of quarterback Lamar is, any receiver that numbers matter to them, they're not going to the Ravens.
Yeah, but isn't that Zay Flowers' fault because he been getting hurt?
I mean, he could be fully healthy. Lamar can only throw like 4 passes. So I'm just saying, like, I'm just saying.
Somebody like Rashid Shaheed to be out there. That would be a good get. Somebody could stretch the field. That would be a good get for Baltimore. Someone who's not.
I don't think they need that though because they can stretch the floor.
But
he's a deep ball killer. But they need somebody all in between short routes, medium routes, and can do long routes.
Like that's my problem.
Mark Andrews is old. That was their guy.
Are they keeping Likely, or they're letting him go?
Well, Likely he's not really I say he's a medium to a long range guy. He's not really a short route killer. Like,
so you're looking more for like a short possession receiver.
You need a short medium guy that can kill you. That's what they need.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Or either that or find a really good pass catching running back.
The pass catching.
Don't they have that already though?
They got the ground and pound.
Don't they have that already though?
Who? Keaton? You talking about Keaton Mitchell?
Yeah. I guess not. I guess not.
I mean, he can catch passes, but
yeah.
I'm just look, I'm not throwing shade on Lamar because obviously he's one of the most talented players in the league. I'm just talking about how he plays the position of quarterback is different from a lot of guys how they play it. Lamar doesn't really dissect you at the line of scrimmage or anything like that. He's got a different playing style. I do agree. They need a chain mover. They need somebody to get you those 8 to 10 yards, those tough yards, be it a physical wide receiver or a younger version of Mark Andrews, because likely, like you guys said, he's more of a vertical threat tight end.
Mm-hmm. And my thing is, though, if y'all watched Lamar last year, he wasn't really trying to take off. Now, it could be because of the injury, or it could be because of the simple fact that he just wanted to pass the ball because he was holding on to it, waiting until the last possible second to where he had to run, and then he'll run. He ain't playing like old Lamar. They're not going to win like that. I'm going to be honest with you. They're not going to win like that at all.
100%. If Lamar Jackson can't be the Lamar Jackson who's a legitimate dual threat, then it's not the same player. It's not the same offense.
Yeah, I think he's too heavily trying to pass the ball when he should play to his strengths.
He's trying to be a quarterback that he's not.
Yeah, that's his problem, and I don't like that for him, man. Like, yeah, it's gonna keep you in the game longer, but he's not gonna win like that.
No.
But anyway, Mo, does this Max Crosby trade? Well, Max Crosby went on to podcast and live and said, he ain't got no ill will towards the Raiders, man. He gave it everything he had, but he wanted to bring a championship to Las Vegas. But now he's on the Ravens. So the goal is still the same. My question is, Mo, how close are the Ravens to achieving the bowl this year?
Look, when we came into the season last year, we thought the Ravens were going to be one of the top 3 teams in the AFC. So if you add a Max Crosby on paper, they should win their division outright, and they should be a top seed in the AFC. But and I know it doesn't always play out the way it does on paper. So I think the Ravens had a lot of pressure on them to not only make the playoffs, but go on a deep playoff run. But I don't know how close they are because we judged them off of what they had before the season started, and it was a disappointment. And granted, I'll give you a lot of that was Lamar was probably playing at 65, maybe 70%. So maybe if you get a fully healthy Lamar and he plays like the Lamar that we know, the offense will be one of the top 3 offenses in football. Will's right. They need secondary help, but that's the reason you go get a Max Crosby. If you got a great edge rusher, suddenly your secondary improves.
Dang.
So I think they go hand in hand.
I think people really forgetting that, man. The edge rushers really make your DBs look good. If you ain't got no prime times, or you got like your Trent McDuffies, nothing like that, your secondary gonna get fried, man. If it's too much time. But Will, what you think, man? How close are the Ravens, man, to getting to the bowl?
It's tough to judge because we saw them be favorites last season, and it fell on their face. And we always also know, too, like Mo reiterated earlier, that when you're the best on paper, that doesn't necessarily translate. So I don't know for sure how close they are. I think there's some other teams that are still better than they are in the AFC and closer. So we'll have to see.
So are the Ravens top 2 and getting to the bowl next year as Super Bowl favorites? Will, what you think?
I don't think so.
No?
I don't think so. They got too many questions that I need to have answered first.
Mo, what you think?
I don't think so. I think
Not Super Bowl favorites with this move, man.
I think they think that. But
They have no choice but to say that too.
right.
Oh, Vegas
right.
think it too.
No, Vegas can't think that. No,
Vegas
with that move, the Ravens definitely went up, man.
Vegas can't think, but nah.
I think the AFC West is going to have a big impact going forward because you are going to get a better version of the Chargers, who made the playoffs last year, and they had tons of injuries. They'll be better. I think Denver is going to be better next year as well.
I don't know because they got a couple of free agents who might not come back.
Yeah, but the AFC North, I think that's going to be a bad division again.
Yeah,
I don't think the Steelers are going to be special. I don't think the Bengals are going to be special. The Bengals are going to be what they always are.
Yep.
They're gonna be Joe Burrow or bust. Joe Burrow's probably gonna get hurt, miss a few games, and when it's all said and done, they won't make the postseason.
Let me ask you guys a question: because the Cowboys were also linked to this, and they came up on the short stick. They didn't want to give up 2 first-round picks. Was Jerry wrong for that?
Was he wrong for? Said it again.
Not giving up those 2 first-round picks to get him. Because the Cowboys were also indicated to be in this trade too.
I don't think the Cowboys really need that. I think they need to fix their secondary. That's what I think the Cowboys need to do. I don't think their front was very solid with, pass rushing and stopping the run. Because I think they was more focused on stopping the run. That's why they went with getting what's his name, Kenny Clark.
Yeah.
Because they wanted to stop the run more. Because if you think about it, where they play at the NFC East, is run heavy.
Right, it is.
We got Jalen Daniels. He wasn't playing all season, but he can run the ball when he getting out of there. You got Jalen Hurts. If he ain't throwing the ball, we running the ball.
Yep.
And then you got Jackson Dart. He ain't really good at throwing the ball, but he's very good at running the ball. Him and Cam Scatterboo and that. I think they just got somebody else. I can't remember the kid name as a running back, but Cowboys is good. They don't need to be pass rush heavy. They need to fix that secondary. That secondary is weak.
It is.
I mean the secondary is weak, but it's the same situation. You improve your secondary if you can get an edge rusher. That's why they made an offer. The only difference is the Ravens just made a better offer. I don't think Jerry's wrong.
Yeah, but they were still losing with Michael Parsons, one of the best pass rushers in the game.
I mean, right, but they wasn't losing because of him. You know what I mean? Like they wasn't losing because of him. I think you can't. It's okay to have a solid defense, but you got to have somebody on your defense that I guess we would call one guy would at least be considered a game wrecker. They don't have anybody on the side of that ball that's considered a game wrecker.
No, they don't.
No, yeah, you're right. They don't. But I don't think they need. I think they need people that can defend. Because even with Michael Parsons, the secondary was still getting fried. Because all people had to do were double teaming your best pass rusher. That's it. He's cooked for the game. Now we just about to burn your secondary down. But let me ask you this, Mo. Did the Ravens make a huge mistake with this trade?
No, I think that they're trying to give the new coach and his staff every kind of weapon needed to make a playoff run this season. They're trying to set the new coach up for success. All I'm saying is when you make a move this big, when you give up 2 number ones, you better make the playoffs. Let's start there. How far you go in the playoffs is another thing, but at a minimum, your floor better be the playoffs.
I'll take it a step further. You better win the chip.
Because if it's not, how do you not move on?
You better win the chip. For 2 first rounders, that's impactful.
Yeah, that's the pressure right there. Like Will said, that's a big part of your future when you start sacrificing. Draft picks are valuable anyway, but 2 first round picks.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, how valuable are draft picks really when you don't even know what the players are going to be like when they come out? You know what I mean?
But that's in every sport. Like you might draft a guy number 1, but a guy that goes in the 4th round ends up having a better career. That's just the ins and out of drafting. I'm just saying that the Ravens on paper, they had one of the best teams in terms of talent on both sides of the football in the NFL, and they didn't even make the playoffs. So all I'm saying is I love the addition of Max Crosby and what it looks like or what it could be. How it plays out on the field is a whole nother thing.
And let's also don't forget, rather, Max Crosby ain't the youngest. He's 29. So
coming off an injury.
Yeah, and coming off injury. So you're gonna have to hit. You're gonna have to hit and hit quickly.
Hey, you know what I mean?
You got to hit.
We all remember when we was 30, man. We still had stuff left in the tank,
you got to hit, man. That's 2 first rounders, man. You got to hit. You can't go in. You can't get Max Crosby and continue not to make the playoffs, continue not to win the chip. You have 2 first rounders invested in this whole thing. That's your future. You got to be able to convert and win this chip.
The Browns got the best pass rusher in the game. The Rams had the best pass rusher in the game with Aaron Donald before they even decided they wanted to get him a championship. Teams get best pass rushers and just don't get it done. If your secondary ain't average, you ain't gonna get it done. It don't matter how good you are at pass rushing.
And that's why I say they got to improve that secondary at Baltimore. They need secondary help. They got to improve it. Max does help. He gives you more time, but you still need to have a good secondary back there.
Right. I think he's an important piece. But the thing about the Ravens is they spent a ton of money on their defense. A ton of money already for it to be what it was.
I don't think that money good. They ain't spending the money good.
Well, I'm not going to argue with the results. The results are the results. But you're right. Look, Max Crosby was one of the best edge rushers in football. It didn't change the Raiders from being a bottom dweller team. Hendrickson is a great pass rusher. It didn't change the fact that the Bengals were one of the worst defenses in the NFL. You have to have talent at all levels on both sides of the football.
Yep.
I think the struggle is for a team like the Cowboys. Yeah, you got to fix the secondary, but is it easier to go out and get top flight cornerbacks that can help in terms of if you play a man coverage or a shell defense, or is it easier to get an edge rusher that it'll offset whatever coverage you're in because the quarterback has less time to throw?
Right.
But you see, the thing is everybody can find that next man up situation because everybody, once you have a good season, everybody want to get paid all the money, which means now you putting you got to have holes in your roster at this point. Bengals decide they want to break the bank on the offensive side of the ball with 3 people. Now the rest of the team is cooked. You got Dallas Cowboys. They're spending most of their money on the offensive side of the ball. Their secondary and their front line is okay. Their secondary is trash. Browns spending their money on the defensive side of the ball. Their offense is garbage.
When was the last time the Bengals hit it big in the draft? Jamar Chase?
Joe Burrow.
Joe Burrow
and Jamar Chase, to be honest with you. They got both of
them. Nothing as of late has developed for them.
You had Joe Burrow, Chase, you had Chad Johnson, you had, what was the guy? Geno Atkins, great pass rusher.
Remember Geno? Yep.
They did their thing.
They haven't hit lately, and that's important too. Got to hit in the draft.
Trent McDuffie, fellas. Trent McDuffie got traded to the Rams, man, in a package of draft picks, and at that point, the Rams also decided they want to make Trent McDuffie the highest paid DB in the game. 4 years, $124 million. Mo, reactions to this trade?
That's a great move. Look at the Rams. When we talk about talent, they got talent across the board on offense. They got the dual wide receivers. They got a strong run game. And if Stafford comes back, even at age 37, he's one of the top 5 quarterbacks in football. What their struggles were to go with their front 7, their secondary was sketchy at times, inconsistent. You get a Trent McDuffie, a dominant player like that changes everything. So I think he's worth every penny. The Rams are built to win a Super Bowl. Like, I have more confidence in the Rams making a deep playoff run than anything the Ravens do.
Will, reaction to the trade?
I agree. I love this trade. It helps that secondary who struggles from time to time, helps that secondary out. Trent McDuffie is a great athlete. I love the move even better for Kansas City because it's time for them to rebuild, and this is the perfect way to do it. And I like the fact that they took that mentality. Hey, look, this dude's gonna look for a lot of money. We don't want to pay a corner all that money. So they decided to trade him, get some assets, and help rebuild the team because Kansas City, they have holes they need to fill.
They do, especially their offensive line.
Yup. That left side in particular.
Gotta fix that offensive line, man. But
need a running back too.
I think they're looking. They said the Chiefs could possibly draft Jeremiah Love from Notre Dame, or they was gonna try to go get Breece Hall, but Breece Hall
Hey, Jeremiah, you think they? I think
got
they
franchise tag.
I think they pick at 9. Do you think Jeremiah Love will be there?
Possibly.
I think he'll be there. I think he'll be there. Very, very few teams in today's NFL is going to draft a running back in the top 10.
Particularly with the way the running back has been devalued.
Even though I would argue that for Patrick Mahomes, he's never had the luxury of having a 1,200, 1,500 yard running back that can open up things for him. Like, you know what I mean? Mahomes has always carried the load. It would be nice for him to have a guy that could take some of the load off of him.
Right.
Yeah, I wouldn't say he had one of them, workhorses, but he did have somebody who could punch it in when they got down there, and that was Kareem Hunt.
Yep.
Kareem Hunt was always able to punch it in for them every time they got close to the end zone.
Yeah, I mean, he's a good red zone running back. He's still a good red zone running back. He's just not a good full-time running back.
Right.
I mean, with the league being a passing league, man, who really wants workhorses anymore?
It worked for your Eagles.
It did. It worked. It worked
a couple of years ago.
It just worked in Seattle too. And guess what happened with Kenneth Walker? They let him walk.
Well, no, look, but you're not saying that people don't want workhorse running backs. What you're saying is people don't want to pay workhorse running backs. That's a different subject. If they don't have Walker, they don't win the Super Bowl.
The Chiefs would love.
But now that they won the Super Bowl, they show Walker how valuable he was to them.
The Chiefs.
This guy, how you the Super Bowl MVP and they kick you back in?
The Chiefs would love to have that. They would love to save wear and tear on Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, that's all I'm
They'll
saying.
love it.
Is Patrick Mahomes 30 years old? I think he's 30, right?
He just turned 30 this year, I think.
My point is, though, we're assuming if he's healthy, barring a major injury, he's probably got another 6-7 years at a high level playing. But if you want to really get the max out of that, you got to go get this guy a running back that's a 12 to 1,500 yard back.
Yep.
I ain't gonna do that. Probably not until Patrick Mahomes get a little older and he can't sling the ball
I don't think so.
But that's the thing. So. If you try to wait for him when he's older, you're gonna speed up his aging process. That's the problem now.
Exactly. I just think you need a bell cow who can help offset things. And I think also, are we sure Travis Kelce's coming back? Because if it's not, they need to put Noah Gray in that spot.
I don't know. Yeah, that's a question mark.
Yeah.
I don't think he's gonna leave with
they
that.
Need to put Gray in that spot because Gray's a better tight end than me right now. At this point in his career, I think Gray's the better tight end.
They've been a defensive football team predominantly the last 4 seasons.
Yep.
It's been about Spags in the defense and Patrick Mahomes making something out of nothing on offense. This rebuild to me is a shift. I think they're gonna concentrate mostly on the offense, starting with that offensive line, a running back. I think that's what they're gonna do. I think this is gonna be a different shift. Like they've been a top 10 defense, I think the last 5 seasons. When you give up a guy like McDuffie, I think this is a sign they'll still be a good defensive team, but I don't think they'll be one of the top defensive teams.
I think Walker fits better, by the way, to answer that question. I think Walker fits better. I ain't never been but I've never been a fan of Travis Etienne.
I like Etienne, but he doesn't run well between the tackles. He's more of a scat back.
Yeah. I like Walker a lot better for Saints.
So moving into Colts place a transitional franchise tag on Daniel Jones, 1 year, $37.8 million.
Good.
Jones suffered a torn Achilles last season, man. Thoughts on this for the Colts? Will, I'm gonna start with you.
If he can come back healthy, I think it's a good move. He fits well in that system. I think it's a good move for them. Kind of reinvented his career. If he can come back healthy, I think it's a good move.
Achilles tear, you about to pay this dude 37 million, almost 40?
All depends on if he can come back healthy. And we've seen stuff like this happen before in the NFL.
I've seen it happen one time with AP, who came back off of Achilles and dogged the league.
But if he can come, if he can come back healthy and that line stays consistent, you got one of the best run games back there to take even more pressure off of him. If that line stays consistent, I think it's a good move for them.
I don't know. I think that the thing about Daniel Jones is he had
Indiana Jones.
Right, Dr. Jones. He had one really good season with the Giants, and then he kind of stunk it up until they got rid of him. He revived his career in that system with the Colts, and he had a great season. I want to give him all the credit in the world for that, but he did end with a major injury.
Yes.
I guess my question is, how do I know that even if he was healthy, you were going to get the same season that you got last year? Like, how do I know that's not a one-off? $37 million. It's Daniel Jones, man. It's not Patrick Mahomes. Like I'm not doing that. Like no one's gonna tell me that
Patrick making $50 million a year though, man.
Right, but he's making $50 million because he's way better than Daniel Jones.
I just think it's a good move given the quarterback market that's out there right now. Kirk Cousins old.
You talking about Will?
I don't
Kyler
trust
Murray.
Tua.
You got Geno. You got Tua
Tagovailoa.
Tagovailoa.
Did nobody want the Geno? Did nobody want none of them?
You got Captain
Did
Kirk
nobody want none
Cousins.
of them? Geno.
Carmike, you know what, Carmike? I actually think Kyler Murray's an interesting fit for the Colts because
I wouldn't do that.
You put Kyler Murray with that running game. We're talking. Look, they got a great run game.
That's
one of the
gonna
best
be
offensive line in football. And Kyler's got wheels, obviously. Look, don't forget, a big part of what Daniel Jones does well is his ability to take off with the football and run the football. Coming off of the injury that he came off of, is he going to be the same mobile guy that he was before? I don't think so right away. And there's another thing. Is Daniel Jones even going to be able to start the season?
That's true.
I doubt it.
That's true.
That's what I'm saying. You about to pay dude
that's a good
almost
point.
$40 million. He ain't about to be starting.
But my thing is this. Kyler Murray gets hurt too.
No, that's a lie. That's a lie.
How's that?
Kyler Murray don't get hurt. He makes himself unavailable come October, November.
He hurts too. He gets hurt too.
He ain't been getting hurt. Everybody
that man get hurt too.
He likes to call out. He
now
put
you
his
play
PTO in his 6 times.
Now you play for the Cardinals, so yeah, you might have a point there. But from what he said, he's been hurt too. So
and Kyler got other priorities.
We need to take the times he's been hurt against the time the new car comes out.
That's good.
And see if they coincide with one another.
That's not a good look when a pro football player low manages.
Nah, it's not good.
Kyler Murray is always unavailable come November, man. I'm telling you. But this just in, Mo. Mika Fitzpatrick just got traded to the Jets from Miami in exchange for a 2026 7th-round pick, and that pick came from the Chargers. And they just re-signed Mika Fitzpatrick in the same day, 3 years, $40 million. How you like this, man? This move for the Jets?
I'm gonna say it in the kindest way. I feel like it's a nothing move. It's nothing. Like I mean, this was a time. There was a time when Mika Fitzpatrick was one of the best playmakers in all of football. Now he gets traded for remember the words that came out of your mouth, a 7th-round pick. Look, if you want to say he could provide some leadership to the Jets secondary, absolutely. Is he still an impact player? No, he is not.
He went from one bad team to another bad team.
Right. What the Jets need to focus on is not bringing in old cornerbacks, but finding a quarterback.
Right.
So Anthony asks, who gets signed first, Tua or Geno?
Geno.
Really? Y'all think Geno go before Tua?
Yeah, because Tua is so damn brittle. Even now, you can say what you want about Geno, but he like a bad penny. He stay going. He keep going.
At least Geno ain't got that bad contract that Tua has tied to him.
No, you know what?
Terrible
you know what?
Contract.
Yeah, but here's the thing, Will. Because of the dead money that the Dolphins put on him, the next team that gets him, they can sign him for like the
That's
veteran.
right. They can sign for the minimum. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. He got cut. He cooked.
Yeah, he ain't gonna cost a grip at all. Neither one of them gonna cost a grip. I'm only taking Geno because you can tell me that Tua is more accurate. He is. You can tell me he's a better passer than football. I think he is. But Geno is more reliable. Geno stays upright. Geno's healthy. Yep. And even though he doesn't do it as much as he did early in his career, Geno can still take off. Geno's got some wheels. Tua is about as fast as Peyton Manning. So, I just think that any team that signs Tua they're signing him as a backup, not as a starter.
I don't think he'll be a starter again. I don't think he'll be a starter again.
Backup?
I mean, I think he'll eventually get an opportunity to start again, but I don't think no one's signing him to be their starter.
Ain't Tua like 27, 28?
Yeah, he's still young, right?
He could be the Giants backup.
I mean, he's 27, 28 in terms of what it says on his ID card, but his body says like 40.
That's wrong. The man 35. The man 35.
So, let me ask you this, Will. What is the next move for Mr. Diggs, man? He got dumped by Cardi B. He got released by the Patriots. What's the next move for Stephon, man?
I think somebody will pick him up. Example, the Ravens. I think somebody pick him up. But here's the problem. The player you would want, but not the person, if you understand what I'm saying. He had a great year last year, statistically. But when it comes to all this legal trouble and everything, like even if you would take a veteran mid, that kind of mid deal, teams are gonna shy away.
The vet minimum at this point.
Yeah, he's got too much. He's got too much going on, man. I mean, great player, great talent. Not saying he's from a great to a good player, but all this legal stuff he's got going on, and it's in New England.
32 years old, man, getting the vet minimum.
I think it's 4 to 5 years for strangulation in his area. I think it's like 4 to 5, might be more. He's facing some serious charges, and I don't think any team wants to take on that legal baggage.
Yeah, they're not. No one. Look, somebody will eventually sign him, but look, you have to deal with not just the legal ramifications, but you also got to deal with your fan base, and a lot of fan bases aren't going to be excited if you sign Ike Turner. So I'm just saying,
that's why I say
they don't like that.
And that's why I say vet. Exactly. And that's why I say vet minimum, if anything, because there's a lot of legal baggage going on right there, and no team wants to invest serious money in that.
What you think, Mo? What's the next move for Diggs, man? Somebody picking him up, or he's sitting in the free agency and riding?
I think somebody will eventually pick him up. I don't know that he's on a roster before training camp. I'm not sure. And if somebody picks him up, they're not bringing him in to be a number one. You're bringing him in to be a 2 or a 3.
I agree with Mo. I think you'll see somebody bringing him in, particularly if they have an injury. I think they're bringing him in later on in the season for him to compete, but it's still going to be a vet minimum.
Because this isn't even about can he still play. Obviously, he can play.
Oh, yeah.
He brings a ton of baggage, and not everybody's signing up for that.
That man at one point had it all, and he lost it within a 6-month period. It's sad.
And in breaking news, Cowboys make their first big splash, if you want to call it a big splash, in the free agency. As of right now, the Green Bay Packers just traded the defensive tackle Rashawn Gary to the Cowboys in exchange for a late 2027 draft pick. He going to the Cowboys. Mo, reactions? How you feel about it?
I mean, you talked about this early on. What the Cowboys are doing is they're bolstering up that defensive line, that defensive front. They want to be really stout against the run. It's interesting that the Cowboys and Packers keep doing business with each other, but in the business they're doing seems to benefit both teams. So, look, this isn't a big splash move, but I would call this a really good football move.
Will, what you think?
Solid move to boost up the D-line. I like it. Helps Dallas out. It also helps Green Bay out by getting another draft pick. So, yeah, I think it helps out both teams.
Big Jerry said he making some moves this all season, man. So this
might be the season he all in. This might be it right here.
like
He wasn't-
last year. Last year he was
year, he said he was
wasn't
all in.
Yeah.
This might be right here. This might be where he said he all in. This he said
Yeah. Maybe he needed to be all in plus. 'cause
exactly all in plus.
All in wasn't that good.
Nah.
So another trade that happened, Will. This one's going to you. Texans trade for David Montgomery and later release Joe Mixon. Reaction.
I love that move. I feel sorry for Joe. He got hurt. We still don't know how he really got hurt. What the particulars of that injury was. Foot injuries the last thing I heard. But I think it's a good move for them. It gives you someone who can open things up from the run game standpoint. I want to see the offensive line get better. And that's the part of this trade that I didn't like because you had to give up a lineman. But if they can get that offensive line woes fixed, you got your good running back there. If CJ Stroud can make a comeback, hey, this could be win-win for the Texans.
Yeah. If they fix the offensive line, David Montgomery will be CJ Stroud's best friend.
Yep. He can run the football. He can catch it out the backfield from time to time. This is a good move for them if they can fix that offensive line. And they got a whole draft and the rest of free agency to do that.
But Mo, isn't this showing how devalued running backs really are? I mean, granted,
but
Jahmyr Gibbs had a crazy.
And you got to understand too, David Montgomery didn't want to play behind that again. He didn't want to play behind that again because he lost carries this season compared to the season before.
That was his fault. He should have stayed healthy. He got hurt.
Just saying.
I mean, let's be real though. Even if he was healthy, he wasn't going to get more. He wasn't going to get more carries than Jahmyr Gibbs. Look, David Montgomery's nice. Jahmyr Gibbs is special. There's a big difference.
Yeah, he wasn't gonna have an impact on that Detroit Lions team anymore. Let him go be great with the Texans.
Another big trade you had, well, if you want to call it a big trade, it's a good pickup for Mr. Josh Allen to get his season going, man. The Bills trade to acquire DJ Moore from the Bears. Mo, how you like this pickup for the Bills?
It's a good pickup. I think there were bigger names out there that they could have gone after, but I think they went after somebody that can fly under the radar. Look, DJ Moore I think he's a number one-ish kind of talent. He's certainly an upgrade in that receivers room. So I think it's a good move for the Bills. I'm not sure it's the move that puts them over the top. Like if I'm going to go out and get DJ Moore and call it my big move for my receiving core, you need to go out and get another guy that's at least as good as DJ Moore. Like I don't, if that's going to be your big move that's going to resurrect your pass game is not going to be that much better.
I mean, they already had some solid receivers last year that was doing what they could. DJ Moore.
They still need to add something else. I get it. You bring him in. He's going to be their number one until they bring someone else in. But you got to have something more than that because they're still running double tight end sets down there, and they love their little tight end crew. But from the receiver position, you have to have more than this DJ Moore. You got to have more.
Yeah. Agreed. But
he's a good piece.
Clearly, I think they don't want receivers that come with ego. I think you're forgetting that. Well, number one receivers, they come with ego. They come with pressure because now you got to give them the ball. I don't think they want that for Josh Allen. So you're stating that you want a receiver who's more professional toward the game. I got you. You want a semi number. I got you. You don't want nobody that's dogging, right. like Justin Jefferson.
I got you.
Chase. You don't want, Stephon Diggs.
I got you.
Josh Allen was working well, but
yeah,
it wasn't winning when they needed to win.
I got you.
No, I agree. I think that's exactly why they targeted DJ Moore. I think he fits the bill for what they want. Look, if it wasn't about ego or having to deal with a prima donna, then Diggs would still be a Bills. You know what I mean? Like Josh Allen made that call and wanted to get away from that. And I think he made it. I'm sure he talked with management and said, like, I know we need to upgrade the wide receiver position, but don't bring in another one of those. I'm not dealing with that again.
Now there's some speculation out there that Jacksonville is looking to move Brian Thomas Jr. You think that might be a good fit in Buffalo, fellas?
That'd be a great. Brian Thomas is a slept-on receiver. He's really good.
Yeah.
I think Brian Thomas is better than DJ Moore.
Yep. I agree. And he's younger too.
Yeah, I think I think if you bring him in if you brought him in with more, with some of the guys they still have less, that goes from being one of the worst receiving cores to one of the better ones.
Yeah, I agree with that. Brian Thomas, he's nice like that, man. But Mo, the Eagles extended Jordan Davis 3 years, $78 million, man, leaving some room to speculate with the Eagles also getting calls about Jalen Carter. So at this point, Howie's facing do you want to re-sign Jalen Carter? That's putting you at 2 defensive tackles that's making over $60 million. Or are we moving past him? Because you also got Queion Mitchell and Cooper DeJean nearing extensions as well, man. What's your thoughts on this going forward for the Eagles?
So Queion Mitchell and Cooper DeJean are very valuable players for the Eagles. There's no denying that. Jalen Carter is a matchup nightmare.
Yep.
Like, that guy is a game wrecker. I'm sorry if I got to sacrifice Cooper DeJean and Queion Mitchell. Sia wouldn't want to be you, but I'm not giving up.
Yeah.
I'm not giving up Jalen Carter. I'm not doing it.
I ain't getting him up neither. Nope.
Unless Howie's much smarter than me. It's why he's the best GM in football. Maybe Howie's already targeting another guy that nobody knows about. That he's like, this guy's damn near as good as Jalen Carter. Plus, I can get some picks back in return. Because Howie thinks like that. I'm saying I wouldn't do it, but Howie is always like 5 steps ahead of everybody else, so he still might do it.
Yep.
Don't forget, Jalen Carter also has behavioral issues.
Yeah, yes, he does. He needs to go to anger management.
I will say this though. Speaking on those behavioral issues, you're put up as long as the talent is performing. The minute he slide off, gone.
Yeah, but the thing is though, he got the talent. He performing, but he spitting at people and getting suspended and stuff like that. You can't do that, brother. You're unavailable at that point. You're useless to me.
Mm-hmm.
You know
so
let
me ask you, Carmack, would you move Jalen Carter?
Unless the Eagles was making a move to where they got Micah Parsons or Max Crosby, you can't move away from it. Your best pass rusher that's causing havoc. Like, can't do it. It's a pass. People are sleeping. Pass rushers are very valuable in today's game because the game is so pass heavy.
Carter's special because he's dominant against both the pass and the run. Like, he's dominant against both.
Mm-hmm. He gave me that lesser Aaron Donald type of feel from him because he could play inside and outside.
If you can keep those behavioral issues to none or to a minimum,
how you gonna do that, man? You got keeping him anger management, mental health classes or something.
Yeah.
Will, from a talent standpoint, Jalen Carter has Jerome Brown talent.
Mm-hmm.
That's how much talent he has. He has Jerome Brown talent.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And that's hard to recover from if you did let him go.
So let me ask you this, Will. Do you see AJ Brown on the roster week 1 for the Eagles?
I do. There's all kind of trade rumors that time. He going to the Patriots, yada 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 yada. No, I think he stays with the Eagles. This and that might not make Gene the happiest guy in the world, but I think he stays. But I think he stays with the Eagles. I think they'll take this season, put it behind them, come up with a definite game plan, keep that man happy, but also be successful too. He needs to take more of a team approach versus the me approach. And when he was doing that, it was winning. When he stopped that and started worrying about more me, they started losing.
So
I think they keep him.
Get your first Super Bowl.
I think
clearly AJ Brown is eyeing Hall of Fame now. He already got one. Mm-hmm. So to get Hall of Fame, you need a quarterback that's gonna get you the ball.
Facts. That's true. But then if you just said the magic thing, you need a quarterback gonna get you the ball. So you can't blame him for the Eagles' problems. So we're looking at Jalen Hurts then.
I mean, some of it's Jalen Hurts, but AJ Brown's not making it any better, bro. Like I don't get why people think that you sitting there getting upset and whatnot. It's stuff that happens in the game. You could be last shot of the game, you giving it to John Paxson and Steve Kerr. Those Bulls games could have went totally differently if they'd have missed it, right? Stuff happens in the game,
right?
Like you're getting pressured.
And I
You
think
got
this is where, because the Eagles are in unique situation. You have you have one great receiver, one good receiver. I like Devontae Smith, but you need to get that man on the same page and start thinking more team ball, not me ball.
I mean, it's hard for AJ Brown. He grew up in that ego era. He's older than Devontae. Devontae's a gun guy. He's like, yo, I'm just here to win.
Right.
He got one early.
Mm-hmm.
So he's just playing ball. AJ Brown, he came from a setting with Derrick Henry out in Tennessee where he was the guy. Ryan Tannehill was giving him the ball.
But at some point, all great athletes have to change their mindsets to be more of a team and less me. You've seen that happen too, and they've gone on to be successful and still make money.
Well, I think you think the problem is that most of the receivers, they eye Hall of Fame first, then they eye Super Bowl later down their line in career because they like T.O., all them, Calvin Johnson, they dominate the game early. So they're not worried about that. They're worried about when they start hitting 30, 31, 32, I got to get a Super Bowl on me. It's too late at that point, brother. You should have worried about that when you was younger and elite talent, right?
So AJ Brown's already got that out the way though, right? So he is a Super Bowl champion. So now, like you said, Carmike, he's at the point where he's thinking about numbers and legacy, right?
Yeah.
Because you get to that point. And by the way, if you're a wide receiver, the upside and the downside about today's football, this era, is you definitely have more opportunities to put up bigger numbers. But because so many receivers put up bigger numbers, it's harder for wide receivers to get into the Hall of Fame. Mm-hmm. There are guys with 12,000, 13,000 yards, and they're not in the Hall of Fame because it's almost status quo now in terms of numbers and stuff. So what separates one guy from the next, I think, it's not just numbers, it's guys that won. So I get where AJ Brown's coming from that standpoint. But you can still put up numbers with the Eagles and still win. You can do both. You can do both
with the Eagles. That's a unique situation. A unique situation where you have one good receiver, great running back there, great offensive line. Those guys can still win, and he can still put up good numbers. He would just need to change his mindset. Unique situation.
We ain't gonna act like Jalen Carter is the most accurate quarterback in the game. He missed
Hurts.
a lot of throws last year, overthrowing people, underthrowing people. Granted, it depends on your quarterback, man. It'll draw frustration. You know what I mean? So
I think it also depends on the system you're in, because if you're Jalen Hurts, you guys are coming off winning the Super Bowl, and you wake up and you got a new offensive coordinator. And the offensive coordinator that you got is what was unproven. He hadn't done anything. He just got promoted to offensive coordinator. He didn't come with a big resume. So I think that's a struggle. Jalen Hurts, he needs an offensive coordinator who sets the offense up that favors Jalen Hurts' skill set, knows what he does best, knows what his strengths and weaknesses are, and play calls to those strengths.
And what does he wake up to this season? A new OC.
Yeah, but my thing is, though, there's certain people, when you're a certain caliber player, if you know something's not working, it's up to you as a playmaking quarterback to make it work. Like, who do we know that's been really an offense? Andy Reid is a great offensive mindset, but you really think he's really back there calling Mahomes, giving Mahomes plays? No, Mahomes probably calling it himself. We all know they're paying this man $50 million, $55 million a year. If he sees something that ain't working, he's gonna find something that is working for him because he know his skill set. Not to mention, Mahomes used his legs way more than Jalen Hurts used his legs last year. Mahomes made his read, boom, 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 nothing, gone. Jalen Hurts just back there running around. He ain't making no plays the same way he used to. He overthrowing, underthrowing people. Lamar Jackson back there patting the ball like he got a newborn baby, looking downfield. Use your legs. You're a playmaker. Make it work for you. If your offensive coordinator is not calling it right, that's up to you to set the tone for yourself. This is your game. You've been playing all your life, right? So you should be a playmaker at this point.
Yeah, Kyle just brought up a good point. He's right. How did that work for Mahomes last year?
Yeah,
it did where he got hurt, right? But he still was doing what he could do.
they weren't any good before he got hurt too. like a lot of people like when Mahomes got hurt, so they like let's not front. Before Mahomes got hurt, they weren't any good.
Nope.
They wasn't. But Mahomes was making them good, squeaking out games. But I got one more topic before I hand it on over to Big Will. And then let's talk about Mo. This is your side of the ball, man. Jason Tatum is back. Big Deuce. Does this make the Celtics NBA Finals favorites at this point?
I think it makes them a top 3 contender in the East. I don't know if it's a lock to make them the finals. You're getting Jason Tatum back, but you're not getting all NBA Jason Tatum back. You're getting Jason Tatum back, who's not in basketball shape, who's not like he's got to shake off some rust. Like they've won the first 2 games that he's played, and he's looked decent, but he hasn't shot the ball well. He's shooting 37% from the field. So I'm happy for him that because he seems to really want to come back and contribute. But as a fan, every time I see Jason Tatum get hit, every time I see him go to the floor, I'm gonna cringe. Right? It's just you are. It's just natural instinct. You're gonna cringe because you're gonna, oh no, because you don't know. He's doing something with this particular injury that no one's ever done before in this short amount of time. So how could you not be concerned for him? I think in a lesser role, sure, he could help the Celtics go on a deep playoff run. But if they're expecting him to be anywhere near what he was before the injury, I don't think that's realistic.
Will, how you feel about Jason Tatum's return?
I don't like the fact that he's back. I just think that you're inviting more chance of injury or re-injury rather. But since he's back, I would limit his minutes because he's not in good basketball shape, and his role definitely will change. He wouldn't be Batman anymore. He goes to be Robin, and Jaylen Brown goes to be Batman.
You might be Alfred.
He might be, but yeah. But I still wouldn't mark them as the favorite. I still like the way Detroit plays, even though I got questions. But yeah, top 3 in the East, only because it's the East.
Hey man, did y'all see how that crowd erupted when Tatum got that little putback, man?
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm a big Tatum fan. Obviously a much bigger Tatum fan than Gene is. He's not a big Tatum fan. Look, I just want him to get through the rest of the season healthy. If the Celtics should make a deep run, that's great. If they don't, not the end of the world. So long as he gets through the season healthy, where he can have a full off season to get that much healthier.
Right.
I think going into next season for sure, you get a fully healthy Jason Tatum and the Celtics with what Brad Stevens is known to do in the offseason. The Celtics they'll be the favorites in the East next year.
I want to add one part to that. Yes, you get a healthy Jason Tatum back, but also everyone behind him has valuable minutes, experience, and that confidence going into next season.
Yeah, so they got better.
They got better. The talent behind him got better. So I think that's a huge win. And next season, Boston might give everybody hell.
I'm not saying they can't win the East, but let's be honest. If they won the East, that would be an upset.
Gene just mad because the Sixers ain't drafting.
Hey, he's not alone. But I still like Jason Tatum. I'm mad too. I'm mad. I'm mad that people listen to Magic when he said take Lonzo.
Oh,
yeah, Lonzo was
shot at you, Magic. Shot at you.
But moving on, Will, the floor is yours.
Thank you, sir. Real quick, Ma, I just got to get this from you. Drew McIntyre lost the title. I'm more than happy to see it because I can't stand Drew McIntyre. But you put it back on Cody. Do you think this should have put it back on Cody or put it on somebody different?
That was terrible. Terrible. And that was beyond predictable. They were like, well, the sales for WrestleMania aren't that great. People clearly aren't interested in Drew. So they go ahead and on a SmackDown. You know how often a world championship changes hands on a SmackDown? Almost next to none.
Mm-hmm.
But to put it back on Cody, what they've done, Will, with Cody, they've made him almost as annoying as Charlotte Flair was when she was
Yep.
getting the belt all the time.
Yep.
I have to assume their master plan is going to be a triple threat match between Cody, Drew, and Jacob Fatu. And the smart move would be to put Jacob Fatu over.
Yes, because I know there'd be their high on Jacob Fatu as well. But I hated Drew. I thought his ring presence was bad. I don't like the way he cuts promos, and it's the same thing from him each and every week. I just don't like Drew. Now, I am glad the title's off of him, but I want to put it back on Cody. Would you put it on your boy LA Knight and give the fans one run that they wanted to see?
No, I hate that guy. So it's like if you don't like Drew, you don't like him more than I hate LA Knight. No, I'm sick. I'm sick of that guy. No, I'm glad they didn't put it on that guy. I'm sick of him. Like, I don't want to see that. I'd rather see Drew with the belt.
Right.
Actually, I'd rather see a younger talent pull somebody up. I don't care if it's just Javon Evans, Obafemi, Dragunov. Put over a younger talent instead of the same old four guys running around in a circle. That right there is frustrating. If you're a fan, like, get some new blood in the mix.
Last thing I got, we run out of time here. Penta defeats Dom Mysterio for the Intercontinental Championship. I know Dom was your boy. What's the next step for
him? He wrestles Penta again, get the damn belt back. I'm gonna make a prediction. I don't know if it's gonna be Dom, but I'm gonna tell you now, Penta's not gonna be champion for a long time. He's not gonna have a long run.
That's a transitional champion if I've ever seen one.
Yeah, him winning that, it's big for the company, but it's bigger for a certain fan base. That's why they did that.
That's like one of those WWE feel good moments that you get from time to time.
That's exactly what it was.
Yeah. Heck yeah. But that's all I got, Carmack.
So, Mo, let me ask you this, man. As we get ready to close out, man, the most impressive part of LeBron James' career, is it the rings, or is it his 20 plus years of dominance?
I think it's the 20 plus years, right? The rings have some impact, but I've been watching the NBA since I was a kid. We've never seen a player play this well this late. A lot of guys have played 20 years, but by the time they got to year 18, 19, they were like subpar players. This guy's still an all-star caliber player and an all NBA caliber player.
Curry still dominating year 18, 19?
Year 18, he was pretty good. Year 19 and 20, he was splitting time with Michael Thompson. So nah. We've never seen, like, the closest guy would probably be Karl Malone. He was great all the way up until when he left the Jazz to go play for the Lakers. And then he looked like an old man on the Lakers. So
looked like a straight old man, man.
Yeah, he like nobody was madder than me. I was like, only we would go get Karl Malone when he's an old man. we got Karl Malone when he was an old man. We got Gary Payton when he was past his prime.
Yep.
We didn't get the glove. We got the mitten. So
dang,
that's what we lost.
The mitten. We got the mitten.
What you think, man? What's better, the 20 plus years of dominance or LeBron's rings?
20 plus years of dominance. We've never seen anybody do this longevity at that high level for so long. So I'm not the biggest LeBron James guy, but I will give it to him. The longevity is something to behold and admire. Because again, he's in his 40s.
And think about it, Carmike. The chances of there being someone, there's going to be a guy that comes along that's a better player, but is there going to be a guy that comes along that's a better player that's going to be able to do what he's done? He's a one-off. There will never be another player who plays 20 plus seasons this high a level for this long. One-off.
Agreed. Ladies and gentlemen, that is our time for today. I appreciate everybody stopping through in the comments, coming to chat with us and tune in with your coffee and caffeine. Will, you have any closing remarks for our people?
Just want to say thank you for having me on today. Do appreciate it. Don't forget, tonight, 10 p.m. Eastern, we'll be doing the Sports Report podcast with myself, Seven, and Ando. Definitely check us out here at 10 p.m. Eastern, right here on Wide Network for the Sports Report podcast.
And as always, if you mow better, you do better. Close us out, big dog.
Hey, thank you guys so much for joining us this morning. Make sure you check out all the great content we have at Wide Network. Wide Network, we appreciate you.